career guidance seminar for those people who are in confusion, okay, whether to go with IT as well as a mechanical one. Apart from this, I will also like to define you what is your strength. We already know that what is SWOT, which is short, okay, strength, your limitations, weakness, call it as, okay, then opportunities in future as well as the threats in nearby or coming future. So we have defined that each and individual have a different strengths, opportunities, and the limitation of their own. So we like to have some discussion from the expert on this front. So before that, okay, I will like to explain. I will like to brief you and warm welcome you for the today's guest speaker. Okay, first one is Mr. Girish Naik sir. He is the head manufacturing and head manufacturing and industry segment for Google Business Unit TCS, TCS Europe. Sir is having a 28 of plus years of experience. I will also brief you when the sir's presentation is there. So another guest we have it, Mr. Sachin Nagpure sir. He is a technical director from DRAN Engineering Private Limited, and he's a core design and manufacturing person having 25 plus years of experience in design. Another great personality is with us, Mr. AJIT DHANANKAR sir. He is a
Hi.
consultant and 40 plus years of experience in design. So sir is ex vice president for Supermax. Okay, then he also has served as a GM for ACG Pampac Group, Videocon, and many more. I will again brief you once the sir's presentation is there. Okay, so before start of the presentation, I will like to have a quick poll so that we can able to, or the guest speaker is also be get to know about the audience which are there. So I will just quickly have a poll for everyone. Your opinion is really matters to us. So first one is related with the language. Okay, I will launch the poll in front of you. Now poll is open for everyone. So the very interesting is which language is comfortable to you, because many times talking to our mother tongue, or especially in Marathi or Hindi or English, anything, but we like to go with the audience thing. Okay, and whenever there is some specific topics needs to be explained in Marathi or specific Hindi, we like to welcome. Okay, so which language is comfortable? So currently we got the 67% vote from the audience. Please, if you can, your vote is valuable, please vote it. So 72% people has voted, and on an average we call this as 60% people are saying that English is comfortable. Almost 30-40% are with Marathi, and 15-16 are Hindi. So this is basically for reference for the our guest speaker. So to conclude, almost 55% in English, 15% in Hindi, and 26% audience wants the seminar on Marathi language. Okay. So next thing I will like to launch. I will close this poll. Another interesting poll. This is the last one from my side. Okay. This will be helpful again. So the poll is launched. The question is, are you a fresher, current mechanical student, second option, or you are experienced professional in design, manufacturing, quality, and wants to switch to, or searching for other options into the career? Okay, so 56, this is very important because this will help our guests to speak accordingly. 70% vote. Last 10 seconds I will wait and I will declare the things. Okay, so near about 22% are the fresher. It means they are just pass out. Maybe 2021 is the pass out for them. 45%, it's a huge. That is what we are intended, that 45% are the current mechanical students. Either they are from B, T, SE. Okay, and 34%, it's a huge number. there are experienced professionals. So to conclude, 80% votes from 122 audience we have received. So 22% are fresher, they are already passed out. 45% are the current mechanical students, and 34% is an experienced professional. So looking for change or definitely something into their career. So it means 44 to 50% of the audience is current mechanical students. They are in a confusion mind. Okay. So coming back to the presentation again, to summarize to the guest, sir, for language, I think 50% are comfortable with English, 25% wants Marathi both. So you can have a mix in between Marathi, Hindi, English. So that could be the great one. And almost 45% are the current mechanical engineering students. Okay, 23 are the freshers and 33% are the experienced professionals. So that is the conclusion from the poll. Let's move to the next slide, and I will not going to spend too much time on this. So I will like to invite on screen Mr. Girish Naik sir. He is the, I already explained you that he's the head manufacturing ERU industry segment at Google Business Unit TCS Europe. He is the currently working with digital transformation and Google Cloud solution. About education, sir has completed the Bachelor of, I think, Production Engineering. Okay, then he also has completed the management from Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Pune. Sir has served as a sales director earlier for IoT as well as digital engineering at TCS India. He also be the global head at TCS, GM and country head, sales and marketing in general manager as Venugram Consulting. Sir also be the general manager for LMS International. Okay, AGM and head for TCS. So almost 25 plus of plus years of experience sir is having. Sir is very spiritual. Whatever I see from long time with sir, and he likes to guide the students. Okay, from initially also sir likes to guide the fresh mechanical engineering students for their career. Okay, so without wasting time, sir, Girish sir, you are welcome here, and we are really thankful. Please continue from here.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Atmaling, for giving me this opportunity to be here and share my experience, share my, whatever I see in the industry. And many people come to me and talk to me. I also learn from students and their aspirations. As well, I guide in my best of the capacity where they can focus on. Okay, so it's an interesting topic. Basically, whether to choose a IT stream or remain in manufacturing or related design. Okay, for a mechanical engineer or a production engineer, this is always a problem. Majorly, IT industry started as a service industry. First of all, whether you are a student, whether you are a fresher, or you are an experienced professional, you should understand Indian IT industry is basically a services industry. Okay, we though we have off late started developing our own products, but we are nowhere near to the US or other countries in terms of bringing new products, right? IT products, I mean to say. So where is the scope? We will come to that later. First of all, mechanical engineer or a production engineer learns, and he is from the creative field. He understands a lot of basics of mechanical engineering design, right from drawing to machine design to theory of machines to mechanics and so many other subjects he studies, and he is ready to get the job. Everybody wants a job, but you should think, according to me, that 5 years investment, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you start as a trainee himself spends 1 year as a trainee, then probationer as another year, and 3 years he will learn on the job. So 5 years you need to invest. If you take the cue from my own experience, I started on the shop floor of Kirloskar Barnes after graduating in production engineering, and I started working on assembling the CNC machines. And then I was asked to design some of the parts, and I was asked to estimate the time and other process parameters, systems engineering for the any component, say the flywheel or crankshaft. For that you need to design its process on the machine, the time it takes, the toolings, the fixtures, and many things we need to design, because customer is going to pay around 50-60 lakhs, and you need to give a tooled up machine where the great minds of design, system engineering, and many other people from the machine building side, they get involved and deliver, right? So I started from that environment, and then I moved slowly into the sales, the technical sales. Machine tool sales is not a just sales. No doubt the sales remains everywhere the same. It's networking, it's building relationship, it is getting to know lot of industry trends and your customer's business. All those traits are sales. That is a different topic altogether, we can speak later, some other time. But while the career progression, I also moved in this, what it says, or if I reflect back on my own career, it gave me a very solid foundation of whatever I have learned, I have applied, I have learned again on the job, and I have made many mistakes, and through that also I have learned on the job, in the assembly line, or on the even purchasing of the components, or even while estimating some of the things. And we have also crashed the machine also, you know so all these things you learn, and you become well versed with the industry you are focusing on. And when the CNC machine came, and how my entry into CAD CAM happened is, when the machining center sales was happening, you need to have the CAM, means the program to machine the component. So you need a CAD CAM, and you need to know how it is done, and what is the ultimately it's a business, and you should know your subject very well. Why I am narrating this, this is how one goes through. Now you may say, yeah, 33% here are experienced people. They will say, yes, we have done this for last 10 years, what next? And now the fresher will ask, hey, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to work in a very remote industrial complex and in a manufacturing. I want to get into IT, and I can go there, I can do a testing course, and I can get into that. That is leaving your 4 years hard work, your time you have invested from your one life, and just getting into, or you know jumping into a totally unknown area. And mind you, mechanical engineers and the design area, to be specific, it has a huge potential, huge potential in terms of today. The salaries, the work environment in the manufacturing and related design offices is improved a lot. You now, whichever car launch, I'm just taking because everybody loves cars, everybody loves vehicles, two-wheeler, car, EVs, everything. You see any car launch, earlier the CEO used to come, or the chairman of the group used to come. Today, the designers come, designers speak from where we got the inspiration. When I will take one example, Mahindra and Mahindra's XUV 500. And when Kripa Anantan, that time she was the head of design and in Mahindra, she said, I got the inspiration for the tail lamp from one African uh, hut where she went to Africa, and it is cheetah inspired design, XUV 500. So why I'm telling all this, I have a very limited time to speak here, but design job is not just very rudimentary or routine job. It's a creative job. Even if you are designing a particular shaft or some of the mechanical design, I would say you have uh, a great scope to improve, whether it is efficiency, whether it is weight, whether it is heat transfer. So many parameters you can think. You will love it. The process, the entire process, you learn a lot. Okay, so what I am saying is this is all we know. Means design is a very exciting place. But what about remuneration? Remuneration is the kind of salaries. My friend who did computer science engineering is getting more salary than me. You may ask this question, right? But that's how it is. And IT services companies are absorbing all the graduates. Even we lost in last 20 years huge number of mechanical engineers, civil engineers, electrical engineering graduates to IT industry. But what they are doing today, they are earning lakhs and lakhs, but they are not doing anything what they have learned. Okay, they some of the people 10 years they might have coded, they might have done the testing, and now they have become the managers in IT companies, and they are stuck. It is called as mid-career issue. You ask any guy who is 40 plus in the IT industry who has gone from these three streams, they will say, I want to retire early. Okay, so don't get distressed or disheartened. I think you should focus. My first pitch is mechanical engineer. If you have chosen that field, try it. Having come here for, I'm addressing the student community and around 25% freshers who are there. First, get into some industry, try your, apply your knowledge, learn. Learning never ends till you retire or even after you retire, because new things happen every 5 years. Okay, so my one cent is, don't leave your field. If you have chosen to learn, then apply and test it. Even then even then there is a huge scope in the IT industry. If you all want to join the IT industry, it is possible. After 5 years, after 10 years, I am addressing the experienced professional also now. Okay, in the same poll you have said, these people have tremendous, if you are good and if you know the tool. See, again, today's designers are using different kinds of tools. When we started, there was AutoCAD. There were very elementary developments were happening on the CAD side. But today CAD is very matured. Even the CAM is very matured, and so many things in the engineering software side have developed like hell. And then there is a services being given from India to the customers in Europe and US or in Japan from India, that is called as engineering services, or it is called as digital engineering. And the IoT, Internet of Things, has merged many things. Now, the mechanical engineering, electronics, then embedded software, everything is now getting merged. So you are part of the revolution. But to do that, you need two things. You should have a domain knowledge. For that, you need to spend your time in a particular industry. If you want to say, uh, make a career, I'm not talking about career here, but if you want to know or make yourself relevant, you need to get a domain. That is, if you are joining, say, Bajaj Auto in Pune, you are becoming a automotive industry domain person. You might work on a EV, electric vehicle, or you might work on a particular you know uh, new design of existing motorcycles, whatever it is. You have chosen automotive as a field. Then you are working on different tools, whether it is an analysis tool, whether it is a authoring tool like CAD, or even PDM, PLM. These are process. This is data management. You should know the process, how the design department works, how the design to manufacturing the flow is. Where you will get all this, by not by reading or not by going through YouTube videos. You need to join the industry, make your hands dirty, work there, and then get this experience. It might come at a lesser price today compared to your friends in the IT industry, but you are building for the future. You are investing your time, 4 5 years learning, becoming a domain expert in a particular domain, and then you have used tools also. That will become your basis, and you have then two streams always available, whether it is today 10 years or 20 years. It is engineering services companies, or the TCS itself has a huge digital engineering and IoT pool of engineers, and they also take experienced people, freshers, and then train everything that happens. There are dedicated companies like Scient, there are dedicated companies like Quest. These are people who are only doing engineering services, where mechanical engineers with design experience are absorbed. Okay. And at the same time, core mechanical engineering, many people say it is now, it has hit the top ceiling and all. No, new designs are emerging, new softwares, that is tools are emerging, and there is a huge demand. It will be there. So just to conclude my time, because I don't want to eat into other two speakers, is first, there is, don't think there is no scope in mechanical industry. There is a huge demand for engineers, good designers in the manufacturing. Okay. And you invest your time, learn, become domain experts, become some tool experts, and understand the process, what you are doing. And those people either have the further growth. If you are in Bajaj or Tata Motors or any small company, tier 1 company, you can become something big in 20 years if you are focused and you start loving what you are doing. Otherwise, if you want to join the IT company, but then don't join, I will do some testing job and then go. Testing will get automated very soon in next 2 to 3 years. Okay. You join the engineering services stream of the IT company, and then you make a career there. These are the options, but sky is the limit. So don't get disheartened and just focus. Okay. That's from my side. I would like to, hope uh, I have spoken within the limits of my time, right, Atmali?
Yeah, yeah, sir. Yeah. First of all, thanks a lot. We'll summarize the discussion at end during the panel discussion. So
Okay.
thanks for it, for a briefing about the IT industry, manufacturing, what to opportunities after experience once the hands become dirty. So these are the huge opportunities are available. So we will discuss at the during the panel discussion, during the question at the end. Now I will like to welcome our next guest speaker, Mr. Sachin Nagpure sir. Sachin sir is a diploma in mechanical engineering from Government Polytechnic Pune, having a 30 plus years of experience in mechanical engineering. He's basically from design background. He also be have exposure of design, manufacturing, quality, sales, being an entrepreneur, project management, and now working as a technical director in DRAN Engineering Private Limited. Sachin sir is also be a very active member for different social activities. I think I still remember we sir is doing many activities for the students, basically from okay up to 10th, okay, after what to do after 10th, okay, choosing the career. He also be involved in many social activities. Okay, we did one 3-4 seminars in lockdown also related with career guidance for many people when the entire world is stopped during the lockdown. So without wasting too much of time, I would like to welcome Sachin sir. Sachin sir, the mic is yours. Please continue.
Yeah, thanks, Atmali, for introduction. Nice introduction, and thanks, Girish sir, also for very nice your speech, or I can say the guidance, not speech actually, guidance for the all the students, professionals, and new aspirants of the mechanical engineers. I also learned many things from Girish sir guidance or speech. So I am basically a purely mechanical engineer. I am passed in 1988, a government polytechnic engineering Pune diploma, specially deployed mechanical engineering from GPP. We are saying GPP, and I work in 1 year in Bajaj Auto as a design engineer, and then I joined as our family company from that 1988 until I am there only. So I'm purely mechanical engineer. I don't have any experience of this IT sector, specifically IT sector and all these things. So I will try to focus on specific mechanical. What are the advantages of the mechanical engineers, their career focus and growth in the future. One thing is sure that also Giri sir specified there is speech also that IT sector is specifically service sector. And if you see that the growth of any country cannot be on the service sector, there should be manufacturing sector. Means without manufacturing, if you see our government also focus on manufacturing. Means if you see the our Modi Sarkar is saying that Atmanirbhar Bharat, they are focusing on different companies should start their plant in India, not only services, but they are insisting on their companies that you should start their manufacturing in the India, not only the import and all these things. They are saying that you start. Even now the chip, there is a chip shortage of the semiconductors and chip and all these things. So government is focusing or emphasizing on that company. You should start. Means then only we'll give the your facilities and all these things. So manufacturing means this is the means prime sector or the main sector of any India, any country. Without manufacturing sector, we cannot survive actually. Means if you see any means surround in family, in company or anything, if you see that is manufacture, means whatever this laptop, mobile or garments or all manufactured. That is not came from any service sector. So if there is no any means manufacturing sectorला आपण मराठीत म्हणतो त्याला मरण नाहीये असं आपण मराठीत म्हणू शकतो की there is no any end to manufacturing. So there may be different innovations in the manufacturing sectors, different styles and methods will be innovated in the manufacturing, but manufacturing sector is the manufacturing sector. There is no any end for the manufacturing sector. So everyone should be remember that there is always scope for the manufacturing. Means though there is a scope in the IT sector, but there is means every day, every year or long time, lifetime, there is a scope for the manufacturing industry. So we have to remember this. I think as per my these things, we have to remember all these things. Even I have just discussion with during this pandemic, we are searching we have some discussion with our friends and all these things. So one IT sector who is in the very senior positions in the some IT sector company, he's saying that also we don't have any work with us right now. So I said that why you don't have any work, because many services are going on. But he's saying that our IT sector is specifically depend on the manufacturing sector. If there is no any manufacturing, then whom will give the services? Banks, all even manufacturing sectors are there. We have to give some services to the manufacturing sector mainly. So without manufacturing sector, as per my these things, IT sector will not survive. If the manufacturing sector will grow, then only IT sector will grow. Then our growth of the country will be also there. Also, there will be growth of the country, and also the employment means if you see the employment pattern or the employment numbers, so there is always chances of the more employment in the manufacturing sector and all types of employment. In the IT sector, maybe only one class means who is good in education and all these things, they can get the employment. But if you see in the manufacturing sector, all class will get the employment. Means from worker to CEO, MD of that company required for every manufacturing sector. So even 10 pass, 8 pass, ITI, all these people gets the employable from this manufacturing employment from this manufacturing sector. So there is no there is very important manufacturing sector is very important. So we have to focus on the manufacturing sector. Even if, as Girish sir saying that afterwards we can shift to the this IT sector or service sector. So initial during first 5-10 years or maybe 5 years, we have to focus our own domain knowledge or manufacturing sector. On the manufacturing sector knowledge, only you can get the good means knowledge or your knowledge implementation in the IT sector. Directly, if you go to the IT sector, if you don't have domain knowledge, then you cannot. You can view some services of testing all these things, but maybe I think for coding and all these things, you require the basic knowledge of that domain or basic knowledge of that industry, basic knowledge of the mechanical industry. If you are talking about right now mechanical industry, you should have the basic processes of this mechanical industry. I have seen many this SAP and all these things people, they don't have the knowledge of the basic processes of the industry, and they fail sometimes to implement their ERP systems or this. We have 2-3 experience even in with the SAP like knowledge base good renowned softwares in the market. So if they don't have the basic knowledge of your industry domain or processes, outputs, all these things, then they will fail to implement their systems in the IT sector. This is my personal experience. So manufacturing sector is very important. This is my first point. Second one is now manufacturing. I started career in 1988 in the design, and we have working on the AutoCAD. Especially not AutoCAD A1. AutoCAD A1 comes later in Bajaj Auto in 92 or 93 after 93. We are working on the boards, and then AutoCAD comes. Then some we are using in 95 to 2000 in our company we are using some idea software, all this in that type also. This operating systems are some Linux and all these things. And now you are seeing the huge difference. Means mechanical engineering, we are thinking that आपल्याला फक्त हात काय करावं लागतात असं नाही. Means you have to focus on some practical knowledge, practical experience during some years. But the technology also changing. Means with this practical knowledge, you can get the good white collar job on the basis of your practical knowledge. You see in the even in design sector, from drawing board, means I have worked from drawing board to now some softwares like SolidWorks and all these things. But for this, if you work on the design sector also, you have to good knowledge of the processes. We are talking about the no mechanical engineering. We have to good knowledge of the processes. What are the limitations of the processes? What are the limitations of the machines? All these we have to consider during the manufacturing. If there is one sector or one module or one part in the design, then design for manufacturing, we are calling that DFM. So now there are different types of these type of tools apart from the CAD tools. Means CAD tools are there. One apart from of the CAD tools, there are different tools as like PLM and PDM. If you want to implement PLM, PDM, you should know the process of the design. Apart from the technical knowledge, you should know the process of the industry of that particular domain, any type of domain. Maybe that type of domain is automotive or any other field. So you know that particular domain, full knowledge or complete knowledge of particular domain. then only you can implement your knowledge in the design also, or even if you go some IT engineering service sector also, that type of sector, you should know the basic knowledge of your domain, like mechanical engineering. So you should not forget that you should have the basic knowledge of our domain. And if you consider the mechanical engineering, we have initially some conventional machines, but now if you see, due to this digital factories, IoT 4.0, there are huge development. Means if you see the people from like my age, if you see the basic tool room machines like lathe and all these things, and now we are seeing the higher means BMCs which are can be monitored from our homes with mobile and all these things, with auto inspection, all these things. So there is also development, means whatever the knowledge we are getting, there is also scope for our future developments with this industry. Means if you see in the first, our industrial revolution is in 17th century, then after maybe 100 years, that other revolution due to this mass production and all these things, energy development and all these things. Then third revolution is about the computer. Due to computer, there is third revolution. Now the revolution, this fourth revolution is the total digital revolution. Means if you see the digital, now that if you see the mechanical engineering, there is a digital factory. We are saying the digital factory that can be totally automated. Totally means there is manless, not totally manless in India, but without optimized manpower, we can run that factory. And that is, then we require the full knowledge, knowledge of mechanical engineering, plus means we can see the collaborative knowledge. There is one term that mechatronics, means we require the knowledge of the mechanical engineering plus some other fields also. Means any mechanical engineer should not stop with their mechanical engineering knowledge, because mechanical engineering now the very collaborative with the other branches also, like electronics and all these, computer also. So with this mechanical knowledge, he should gain the knowledge of the other field also, if you want to proceed further or to move further in his in career. And now the manufacturing methods are also different. If you see, we are previously we are producing the parts with some machines also, with machines driven by the persons. But now there are various methods. 3D printing. Now if you see, the 3D printing is the method. With 3D printing, we can do the good job, means good components for the testing and all these things. So you should focus also on these different types of technical, different methods of the 3D printing. Then imagining one is process is there. Then adaptive manufacturing process is there. So these are different processes. Manufacturing processes are also developed. With robots, cobots, there are different methods. So mechanical engineer means there is a vast scope. Means if you consider only there is only machine shop and all these things. So we should not consider only for that. There is a vast scope of this adaptive knowledge of the other fields. If we consider the mechanical knowledge plus this knowledge, we have the great scope for the mechanical engineers. And there is not the only field limited to the automotive. Means generally in Pune, as there is automotive industry there, so everyone think is going to Bajaj, Telco, or all these type of things. So there are many fields. Now there is aerospace industry is there, power sector is there, then government organizations, with any DRDO, then our the defense industry, many sectors are open for the mechanical engineers. They are not limited to the only automotive and all these things. You can, every sector, means I can say that every sector there is a scope for the mechanical engineering. Even that polymer industry is there, chemical industry is there. Every sector the mechanical engineer is required. So there is no any sector means that the mechanical engineers are not required. Petrochemical industry is there, any industry means, because every industry using some forms of the machines and some forms of the designs required for the mechanical designs required for their product, all these things. Electronic industry also, pharma industry also, any industry you can see. So every industry required mechanical engineers. So there is a vast scope for the mechanical engineers. So you should not limit your thought process that I will focus on only this industry and all this. As per your liking, as per your skill sets, you can focus different sectors of this mechanical engineers. Now in manufacturing sectors also, if you consider the even many people are not ready to work on the in the machine shop now. But now machine shop is also, I said that is not only this, give the dirty hands with the the digital manufacturing, you can say, use your technical knowledge with other collaborative knowledge. You can use your knowledge to run that your shop floor with advanced technological these things. So you can have the good product with cost cutting and all these things, and we can compete with our competitive, means competitive saying, I'm saying now, not saying that the competitive from other company in India or other company in Pune. I'm saying that global competition, because if you want to grow our India, then we have to compete globally. So we have to compete maybe US, we have to compete maybe China, Japan. So without manufacturing sector, we cannot compete this globally, and adapting this technical knowledge, digital factory, industry 5.40. And then other sector, I just want to specify without forgetting that there are means manufacturing methods, because why Japan is ahead apart from their technical knowledge, they are ahead because of their process, means they have focus on their process. How can we manufacture one product with less manpower, with less rejections, with less cost, all these things. One term is there, lean manufacturing is also there, Six Sigma is also there. So anyone can focus, means apart after, means there are professionals also who have some 10 years experience and 15 years experience. They can, with good knowledge of manufacturing process, they can focus on this lean manufacturing, then Six Sigma and all these things. So they have get the good packages in this green belt, black belt, if they get the green belt, black belt. So apart from the IT sector, I think they have good pay also, they have good salary also with this lean manufacturing, all these things. So whether we can apply our domain knowledge to improve the process of the different factories and all these things. So with conclude, I think that manufacturing sector, mechanical sector is have good scope, wide scope. So everyone should focus on this one. I will not comment on the IT sector on this thing, because I don't have the knowledge of that sector. I have knowledge of this total mechanical sector. So I'll mainly focus on the strengths of this mechanical sector. Thanks, Atmali, and thanks all the people who are hearing me silently. Thanks.
Yes, thank you, sir, for giving focus on the mechanical, the opportunities, the changeover towards IT. I think this is Industry 4.0 and the digital factories and all those things. Okay, we'll summarize at the end. Now, I would like to welcome our last speaker, Mr. AJIT DHANANKAR, sir. He is basically a shaving blade and razor expert. He is a Bachelor of Engineering from College of Engineering, Pune. As a mechanical engineering, he has completed mechanical engineering in 1970 to 1974. So 1974 is the pass out batch. Sir currently work as a freelance consultant from last 5 years. Okay, before the consultant, he's become a Vice President Engineering for Supermax Personal Care Private Limited. He also be associated as a General Manager Design for ACG Worldwide. It's almost close to 4 years and 9 months. He also be have a General Manager for Vidyut Metals Private Limited, Vice President Engineering for Peerless Fabrica. He also be a General Manager for Videocon. List is very huge, almost having 40 plus years of experience. Okay, and core thing is sir started his career as a junior engineer from design and become the senior engineer, then manager for design and development, engineering general manager, vice president. Okay, and now freelance consultant for many industries on design. So with a huge experience, sir, would like sir to highlight about the opportunities and the growth for mechanical engineers after maybe 2 years, 5 years. So over to Ajit, sir. Okay, please unmute and talk.
Thank you, Atmaling, and thank you, Girish, and thank you, Sachin, for a very informative talk that you have given. And good afternoon, all my friends, and I hope all of you all can hear me. Atmaling,
Yes,
you have reminded me of my entire career, right from my trainee engineer days to this, which after a long time I have gone through my biodata. Thank you very much. Frankly, if I have to speak on the merits of being a design engineer, most of you will think that I am biased, because all my 42 years of service plus 6 years as freelance, 46 years I have been doing only design, and that too mechanical design. So तुम्हाला वाटेल की हा डिझाईन मधला माणूस म्हणजे डिझाईन बद्दलच बोलणार, बाकी काही तर बोलणारच नाही. But yes, to a certain extent it is true. Let us look at the most of the population who is here, who are students as well as freshers, who have to decide after graduation which stream shall I choose. That's going to be a big question. आमच्या वेळेला असं काही नव्हतं. मेकॅनिकल केल्यावर त्याला मेकॅनिकल मध्ये जावं लागायचं, त्या आयटी पीटी काही नव्हतं. सो वी डिड नॉट हॅव दिस क्वेश्चन, वी डिड नॉट हॅव दिस प्रॉब्लेम. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, with so many things opening up, the present students have got a big problem now what to do, because they have options, and if there are options, then there are questions and there are problems. Nevertheless, let me list down, when a student wants to, and a fresher wants to enter an industry, what are the things that he can think काय करायला पाहिजे. So what can be the priorities? One thing is पगार कुठे जास्त मिळतो तिथे जावं. Second thing is, what is the opportunity for growth and or learning, and whether I'm interested in that growth and learning or not. Third thing is, what is my passion and what is my liking, and whether I'd like to work in that area of my passion and liking or not. And fourth thing, which at this stage these boys may not realize, is the work-life balance, which when they get married and when their wife starts nagging them, "Kitka uchir ka zala," then they will realize that that is an important parameter. So I think these four parameters are the more important parameters that anyone would consider while choosing his line and career. Now, I assume that since all of you all are from the mechanical engineering stream, Atmali, are all of them mechanical engineers, or are they a mixed group?
Yes, sir. No, sir. All are mechanical engineers. Almost more than 90%. Yeah.
Good. So since all of them are mechanical engineers, I assume that their interest is in mechanical. But this assumption may not be correct. त्याला जायचं होतं दुसऱ्या ह्याच्यात, पण मार्क कमी पडले म्हणून मेकॅनिकल मिळालं असेल तर त्यांनी मेकॅनिकल जबरदस्ती घेतला असेल, असे असू शकतं. बट लेट अस अज्युम दॅट पीपल हॅव टेकन मेकॅनिकल स्ट्रीम बाय चॉईस. Okay, so that means the basic assumption is that yes, you are interested in mechanical engineering, and ह्याच्या पुढे काय करायचं is what you have got to decide. So at this level, at the entry level, most of the people feel की जास्तीत जास्त पगार जिथे मिळतो तिथे जायला पाहिजे. That's the thinking. And even when I joined my first company through campus interview, there were various companies, and those companies which were offering the highest salary, my inclination was towards that, without considering all the other things that now I'm talking, where after my hair has grown gray. Nevertheless, so salary is one important consideration at that time. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm not debating, but it's one of the important considerations, and why not? It has to be. Looking at the salary levels at entry level, or 1 or 2 years after entry level, between getting into IT or getting into mechanical engineering, particularly design or any other engineering function, yes, the starting salary that the IT level people give definitely is more. Maybe 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 rupees more per month. And at that stage and that age, that 3,000-4,000 per month does matter. But what happens after 5 years? You're a mechanical engineer. You're not a qualified software engineer. You have adopted yourself to IT by doing a small course of a few months, and you enter the IT sector, maybe as a tester or something, like all my colleagues have said. Then what happens? How do you grow? You are competing with engineers, qualified engineers, who have done IT, and obviously they are in their own field of expertise, and they will outshine you and they will grow faster than you. And you, as a mechanical engineer, because you have entered the IT sector, because you are getting a larger salary to start with, eventually you are going to go and get stagnated, as Girish has said, mid-career stagnation, as he said. So as a mechanical engineer, that's not your field of operation. तुम्ही पोहणारे प्राणी नाही, पण तुम्हाला पाण्यात टाकलंय, तुम्ही माशाची कॉम्पीट नाही करू शकत. तर सस्याला तुम्ही पाण्यात टाकलं तर तो माशाशी कॉम्पिट नाही करू शकत. इट्स समथिंग लाईक दॅट. So you are a mechanical engineer. You are going to compete with IT engineers. Now, naturally, they are going to go forward, and at some point of time, you are going to feel frustrated. कि मैं कहाँ आके फंस गया. And having spent a few years in IT, maybe 4, 5, 6 years, if you decide to come back to mechanical engineering, at that time it's too late. If I am to hire you and I say that okay, तू 5 वर्ष कुठे काम केलं, IT मध्ये काम केलंय, आता मेकॅनिकल डिझाईन मध्ये ये म्हणताना मला थोडीशी भीती वाटेल की आता तू तर सगळं फंडामेंटल्स विसरून गेला, म्हणजे ना घर का ना घाट का, नायदर यू आर फ्रॉम हियर नॉर फ्रॉम देअर. सो दॅट इज वन थिंग. सो सॅलरीला जर आपण महत्व दिलं तर दॅट इज व्हॉट लाईकली टू हॅपन. Growth and learning, as we have seen, as far as growth is concerned, an IT person is likely to grow faster than a mechanical person in IT. So there can be exceptions, of course, but your growth is not going to be as fast as that of a IT person. Learning, okay, I mean, you're going to learn something there, but that learning is what you have spent, like Girish has already said, you have spent 4 years, 5 years in learning mechanical engineering, which you are going to unlearn. That is of no use to you as at a starting point, unless you are taken as a domain expert in the IT industry, but which nobody will take you as a beginner. So whatever opportunities of learning are there for you, it's going to be very difficult for you to understand the intricacies because you are not an expert from that field. Whereas if you are working in a mechanical field, तिथे जे काय तुम्हाला शिकायला मिळेल ते तुम्ही सहजासहजी शिकू शकाल, ते तुम्ही समजू शकाल आणि त्याला तुम्ही काही ना काही कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट करू शकाल, which you may not be able to do in an IT field. So there also, I think, as far as growth and learning is concerned, you are better off in a mechanical engineering field and okay in design. I would say mechanical engineering, design also, manufacturing also, quality also, anything. मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर झालेल्या माणसाने मेकॅनिकल इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये काम केलेलं बरं. नेक्स्ट इज पॅशन ऑर लाइकिंग. व्हॉट डू यू लाईक? ओके, आय हॅव कम अक्रॉस अ कपल ऑफ मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर्स, त्यांचं क्वालिफिकेशन मेकॅनिकल मध्ये झालंय, बट देअर पॅशन फॉर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स अँड IT हॅज बीन सो ग्रेट that they simply love it and they have excelled in that process. Sir, is your passion in that field? Acha. Second important thing is, it is very important to work in a field which is your passion. म्हणजे कामाला जाताना अरे बापरे आता परत आज कामाला जावं लागेल, तिथं पाट्या टाकून यायचं असेल तर त्या लाईफ इज युजलेस. यू शुड लुक फॉरवर्ड टू, अरे मला परत उद्या सकाळ केव्हा होती आणि मला परत कामाला काय जायला केव्हा मिळतंय, कारण तिथे मी काहीतरी एक्साइटिंग काम करणार आहे. इफ दॅट इज युअर फिलिंग, देन दॅट्स द राईट थिंग टू डू. आय गिव्ह यू अ स्मॉल एक्झाम्पल. आय वॉज वर्किंग एज अ जनरल मॅनेजर इन Vidyut Metallics, that's making the shaving blades. At that time, I may have been 61, 62 years or something, and we were working on one very big project, one very big machine that I was making, which was first time in the world type of a machine. रात्री 3 वाजता एका टाकीवर चढून मी त्याच्या पाण्यातलं टेम्परेचर बघत होतो. एका माझा सप्लायर आमच्या बरोबर होता. नंतर मी खाली होतो, सर तुम्ही यू आर अ जनरल मॅनेजर, तुम्ही घरी जाऊन झोपला असता ते तुम्ही कोणाला विचारलं नसतं. 3 वाजता तुम्हाला त्या टाकीवर चढून त्याच्या पाण्याचं टेम्परेचर बघायची काय गरज होती? म्हणलं बघ, त्याच्याने तुम्हाला जास्त पैसे मिळणार आहेत. म्हणजे बघे पैशासाठी नाही. The passion that I'm going to make the best machine in the world and in a record time is making me do all these things. So ह्या गोष्टी जे आपण करू शकतो ते केवळ पॅशन नाही करू शकतो. हे असं पगार जास्त कोणीतरी देत असल्यामुळे किंवा पैसे जास्त देत असल्यामुळे आपण या करू शकत नाही. सो तुम्ही जे काय करता त्याच्यात पॅशन इज द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट थिंग. ते काम तुमच्या खूप आवडीचं असायला पाहिजे आणि तुम्ही रोज यू शुड बी लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू गो टू वर्क because you like to do something. That is very important, which you may not realize this, but over a period of time, this is an important parameter to remember. And that passion for a mechanical engineer is difficult to have in an IT sector rather than mechanical sector. And the last thing which you will realize at the age of 35, 40 is work-life balance. Today, in the IT sector, somebody is working as per US timing, somebody is working as per UK timing. दिवसा तर त्याला काम करावंच लागतं as per Indian time. त्याचा क्लायंट रात्री त्याला फोन करतो. सो सकाळी 6 वाजल्यापासून ते रात्री 11 वाजेपर्यंत त्याचे कॉल चालू असतात, काही ना काही चालू असतं, and he has no family life. And at some point of time, he gets frustrated. Fortunately, such a thing is not so in the Indian industry, in mechanical stream, in design stream, etc. And which is an important parameter which has to be considered on the long run. Though right now, while joining, you may not realize the importance of this. So basically, if you are a mechanical engineer, I think you should look at mechanical. It has got more merits than looking at IT. IT might give you immediate short-term benefits, but long-term मध्ये तुम्हाला खूप प्रॉब्लेम्स येण्याची शक्यता आहे. आणि मेकॅनिकलला मरण नाही, like Sachin sir said, that scope is tremendous. काही पण असो, whether it is even Tesla car. Now they say that Tesla मध्ये काहीच component नाही आहेत. अरे पण चाकं तर पाहिजेत. Wheels have to rotate, bearings have to be there, lubrication has to be there, the cover has to be made, press parts have to be there. So any item in the world has to be manufactured is a mechanical engineering job. So there is good scope, there is no dearth of mechanical. म्हणजे over a period of time mechanical engineering मरून जाईल असं होऊ शकत नाही. It will always be there, and the scope for a mechanical engineer will always be there. I think that's about what I have to say, and I thank Atmaling and everybody else for listening to me peacefully. Peacefully म्हणण्यात काय पॉइंट नाही, कारण सगळ्यांनी त्यांचे माइक्स म्यूट वर ठेवले असतील. So it has to be peaceful, but nevertheless, thank you very much.
Yes. Thanks a lot, sir, for guiding from the initial career to the work-life balance. It was really a nice one. So we'll have a quick panel discussions. Okay, so the panel discussion especially based on the questions you people have it. Okay, I also have a few questions which I came across for the many students, those who visit us, call us, they have some confusion, as well as the question window is open to everyone. You can, you are welcome for the questions also. Sir, I have one question related with the mechanical engineering are doing a 3-month course as a auto testing. So what is the, especially I request Girish sir and to answer this question. So what is the career opportunities for mechanical engineer in future, maybe after 2 years, if they do the auto testing course of computer and they will switch their career from mechanical to IT?
As Mr. Ajit also mentioned, it is like shooting in your long-term career, shooting at your feet immediately. Okay, you might get into a IT company and you will become a testing resource and you will start working on a project. But what happens if the automation of that activity gets completed and you will be released? In IT company, they don't ask you to go home, but they release you to the general pool first, and you start living in that general pool. But within 3 months, if you don't get onto another project, then you will be called by HR and they will say, please look for something else outside. So you will lose your relevance. See, all these means what I am saying, whether it is Mr. Sachin or Ajit, when you hear them and how they have built their career, how they have kept their focus on, and where they have worked for year after year on a particular domain and in a particular area, like whether it is business or whether it is manufacturing, things will change. Manufacturing around 20 years was different, but today it is different. Okay, and design or designing concepts or designing tools were different. Today it is different. So, but the focus remained, and they have excelled and they have enjoyed also. Whereas if you, that's what while Ajit was speaking, he was mentioning that if you do a course of 3 months and get into IT, and you might get into a project, but then it is a very, very short-term focused activity. Boss, you are not believing your 4 years time spent and efforts you have put, and you have learned something 4 years, and suddenly within 3 months you become relevant for some other thing. It is very unlikely, right?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you,
So
sir.
hence, see, you might get a job. There is a trend always, right? Yeah, if you remember, there were some basic elementary courses designed around 20 years back or 10-15 years back, and people got onto the job, but those jobs have vanished. Those courses are also vanished. It is like this.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I think people will get the answers of this. Sachin, sir, I have one question. Core companies, because even Ajit, sir, I will also request you to also focus light on it. Core companies needs fresher, and
Yes.
they also expect freshers to have a 1 year plus experience. So how this is possible? The question from Mr. Anwar, I think Anandpur, if I am correct spell, Anandpur Anwar. He has mentioned 3-4 questions, but this was a very interesting one. Core companies need freshers, and they also need a fresher to be a experience. So how is it possible? And if
Uh,
industry cannot took the fresher, then how they get the experience?
that is the always dilemma. Means not only the mechanical engineers, but generally, what is our means what our thought process is that we don't require any experience in any design and all this thing. When we took any fresher, only we what we expect that he should have some knowledge of that tool, because tool in the sense particular software, means we don't teach them software, so they should have the knowledge of that software. Then they can recruit. We are recruiting them as a fresh engineer. So we can teach them as a design, but we cannot teach them the software tools. That sort to teach tools or softwares, it should like you is there. So I'm suggesting that if they want to enter in the design field, they should learn these tools from the institutes and maybe college or any source, and then they should enter in the design field, because that is the basic requirement right now of these particular tools. But everyone should understand that if I have got I learn this tool or if I expertise in this tool, that does not mean that he is a designer. He is a good modeler, 3D modeler. He is not the designer. Means in the previous means in previous years there is a one post is like a draftsman. Now that post is not there. Like they are 3D draftsman, we can say. They are not designers. When they enter with these tools to any company as a fresher, they should learn the design. But we are expecting that they should have the basic knowledge of these tools. That is our expectation. So I think he's get that answer to that question.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Ajit, sir, you want to say something, or we'll move to the next question?
So
Okay.
mic is
Yeah, so your mic is off. Can you please unmute your mic?
Hello.
Yeah.
Again.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
There is a paradox in the question. If he's a fresher, he cannot have a 1 year's experience. And if he has a 1 year's experience, he cannot be a fresher. So you can't ask for a fresher with 1 year's experience. That's point number one. Point number two, in almost all the industries that I have worked with, I have taken as a company policy freshers with 0 years of experience and trained them up as per my requirement, and that's a better way to do it. And I 100% agree with Sachin that okay, basic knowledge of the drafting tools is expected out of you. You have done engineering of 4 years, so front view, side view, drafting, all these things are expected that you will know. Those are not going to be taught by industry. Industry will start teaching you the industrial practices, basic engineering knowledge. Now, which in today's context always it will also include 3D drafting software, is expected out of them. And probably when people say 1 year's experience, they expect that okay, 1 year's experience on using these tools is necessary, which could be through an institute, which could be on your own, not necessarily through an institute. But
Correct.
I don't think that anybody will ask for a 1 year's experience fresher. That is not possible.
Sir, the basically, I used to be in touch with many company managers and owners. What happened? Current engineering students, they are just do the study in last 15 days of their preparation leave. Called it as a famous word is PL. So many mechanical fundamental, even nut bolts, types, bearing, coupling, if the shaft is parallel, shaft is inline, whether to go with gear, belt, chain, coupling. So they do not have an idea about it. So industry expect that at least if I told them the ये M10 का counter bore यहाँ पे लगाना है, so they must have to be at least known कि if I have to use a M10 for counter bore, then which dimension is or which table from which I have to select, so reference table, something they must have to be known. So that is the expectation from the industry. So they expect that at least fresher must have to be know some part of the basic fundamental. So that is also be one of the two cents. So I have one interesting question from I think I have read it that I'm taking a major pain point question. There are a lot of questions. Yeah. Again related with the mechanical industry, but related with the salary. Okay, why not mechanical industry give same starting package, okay, like an IT company give their employees? Mr. Aniket Wadkar, he has asked that why the mechanical industry is not giving the similar package like an IT industry. Can you please throw the light on it? Most
Girish
difficult
would be
question.
the right person.
Girish sir.
Oh, okay. See, I would, yes, I have worked both in the manufacturing sector. We'll stop calling it as mechanical industry because manufacturing involves all streams of mechanical, electrical, and electronics, and any product for that matter. Today, it is becoming a smart product. So, manufacturing sector is also evolving. Okay, and IT sector pays a very good salary because it is almost 98%, 96% is a export, and you get in terms of dollars. The person is billed for a US client in terms of dollars or a European client in terms of euro, and then you are paid in rupees. So there is a huge, so for that, every person who is on this call or webinar should study the annual report of the IT company like Infosys or TCS on go there, and or also listen to some of the analysts. Why they pay more? Because they get more, and there is a currency differentiator which gives you the lever to pay the employees more, and very demanding also, number of hours of work, all that. At the same time, why manufacturing industry in India cannot pay? Nowadays, lot of aerospace companies, automotive companies, even industrial machinery companies, medical devices companies are paying well. Their starting salaries are quite good compared to what they were 20 years back, vis-a-vis software engineers. My take is, since Atmanirbhar is coming, and then make in India, and then export, the revenue see, the number of hours put and the revenue you earn has some equation there between IT services as well as mechanical industry. This is what is my high level understanding. But two experts are here. I would like to listen to them also because they are in the middle of this. Especially Mr. Sachin is running his own industry, and he will be the right person to answer this.
Girish sir, your answer is correct actually, because typically mechanical industry is very labor intensive. Means good number of manpowers are required from manufacturing, means machine shops and some projects, design, quality, purchase, all these type of departments are there, and good numbers of manpower required. And it is, I think that it is in our hand to increase the salary of mechanical industry actually. If you see the means our culture of mechanical engineering is not good. Like good, I am not saying the good in the sense of the cost competitiveness. I am just speaking about the global competitiveness. So we are not the global competitiveness. Means what are the our cost is maybe more than our competitors. So as a mechanical engineer or hardcore mechanical engineer or some senior persons, we should think that how we should cut our cost in not terms of the reduce our quality or hamper our quality, but how can we increase our efficiency or our productivity. If we get our industry get the more money, then I don't think that no one is ready to means share, no one is not ready to give his share to their employee. Means when I'm getting the 40% profit, then mechanical any industrials can give is the profit to that person, but he is not getting that percentage of that whatever he should get, then he cannot give to that employer also. So this should be there's some balance, and I think that is in our hand. So how we can have the good production systems, good manufacturing system, good design system, how we can good design the good products or good tools, so that the production will be good, rejections should be less. All these things have we have to think, so that we can how can we increase the our mechanical engineering productions productivity. So I think this is the one answer, and the Girish sir already is saying that make IT industry is basically focus on the export oriented, and now the major is our any even our industry is also exporting some manufacturing systems to the now in last 2 3 years to the other countries. So though they are the Asian countries, so now this trend is going, means they're increasing that. Also, we are now exporting to the other countries, so we can get the orders in the dollars. So we can give the salary in the dollars in the terms of converting the rupees. So indirectly, the in future, this due to this different technology, I think the salary will be at par to the IT people. This is my thought.
Okay. Yeah. Can I add couple of lines?
Yeah, please,
My
sir,
thought.
please.
Yeah. See, we need to study two important countries like Japan and Germany, who are very manufacturing focused, manufacturing oriented, and export oriented. German economy, if you study very well, they are the powerhouse of manufacturing in Europe. It is not only automotive. There are n number of different products under different type of industry segments. They make the best of the best products, very innovative products, and people stick to their own means companies. Like say, Germany is of the size of Bihar in terms of geography, and highly populated also, and people work in, say, if you have somewhere in Satara near Pune, a company, and people around Satara, they work there for years, 40 years, they retire, their sons work, their grandsons work, like that. Means there is a culture. We need to have that culture. IT caught up the culture because it's altogether new company, new industry which was developed without even, before even any politician or any trade union came to know about it, it flourished. And then the salaries became very good, and all that happened in India, and completely focused on export. So we need to reinvent the industry itself in terms of our outlook, and not only Atmanirbhar and export. Then automatically salaries will also increase, and people will start traveling. Lot of new businesses will come, revenues will increase, profits will increase, salaries will automatically increase. This is what is my thought. Maybe wrong, right? I don't know.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, another very question which comes to many students who come to us. Even today also, the same question has been asked by the name. Just a minute. Mm, this is basically related with the Mr. Manthan Kumar. So many top core engineering companies like Tata, Force Motors, Saint-Gobain, or many companies, they used to hire because they used to hire the people from education institutes or top education institutes, and then other mechanical background people are not getting that much kind of an opportunity. But the question is like this: do you suggest a fresh mechanical engineer, if you want to do his career in design or manufacturing, he has to go for MNC or smaller medium companies where his growth will be faster? Start job with MNC or start job with small and medium company?
Yeah.
Because many people will come to us, okay, MNC mein job milega kya? So I say that why you want MNC or cubicle one? So I need some light on this, MNC or small and medium companies.
Yeah, I'd like to answer this question.
Yes, sir, please.
See, both of them have got their own merits and demerits. In a small or a medium company, you're exposed to many responsibilities, many departments, and in a smaller period of time, you can acquire a broader base of knowledge. In an MNC, you get locked to one department for a long time, and most probably, other than that department, you don't know many things. So you don't become an all-rounder, you don't become an expert engineer all around. But you get exposed to systems, which in many of the small industries is lacking. So if you want to be a system-oriented person, you can go to MNCs. If you want to be a good all-round engineer, you should go to smaller industries. So that is my suggestion.
Okay.
Sachin, what do you think?
Correct, sir. Means, but the preference should be the smaller, means small industry. Means, if you want to grow, if you want to reach some higher positions in any organization, so you should have the wide exposure. Means you should not the exposure for the particular department. If you are the even you are the design expert, but you should have the wide exposure of the other fundamentals activities of that particular industry or other departments or other processes. Then only you can go to the higher position, because in higher position you have to take the decisions on the overall situations. So you don't have to take decision only on the design or all these things. You have to take the decisions on the overall situation. So at least you should be aware. Means you should not be a master, but you should be aware that this should be happen. Means आपण जसं मराठीत म्हणतो की आपल्याला कोणी तिथं चुत्या नाही म्हणायला पाहिजे, असं तसं म्हणतो.
Very right. Very correct.
तसं तो मराठीत आपण हा थोडासा वेगळा शब्द होईल, पण असं मराठीत आपण नेहमी म्हणतो. तर ते तुम्हाला करायचं असेल तर यू शुड हॅव द यू शुड वर्क इन ऍटलीस्ट सम 5-10 years 5-6 years इन द small scale industry. Then only you can go to the MNC and you can, then there you have the growth, good growth, I think.
Okay.
Right.
Girish sir, I have one question from the student. Artificial intelligence, IoT, machine learning, they are interference in a mechanical system. Now, if you go with a blower, AC, now they are with AI MI tag. So people, okay, now mechanical people are less aware about all those technologies. Current mechanical students, even many professionals also. So they are thinking like that because of AI MI, mechanical will absolute. So can you throw light on this, because this is again a very important topic.
Very good question, if anyone has asked it, because the convergence of different fields has already happened. Means any product for that matter. Earlier, if you take say any product, it was see, there is no distinction between mechanical design and electrical design and embedded electronics and all that now, because the functioning of the and the customer experience demand has changed a lot in last 20 years, and everything is driven by the cost saving, convenience, and sustainability. Okay, so all these fields are coming together and addressing the market needs, and in this case mechanical engineer is not left out. He will have his job cut out. He will do his job, but he will work along with electrical engineers and other IT engineers. They will plug their own portion of the overall design, right? Uh, so I don't think mechanical engineers' role is getting over. In fact, it is getting more, relevant in the new age design and new age products. Think of a electrical car. Just an IC engine is replaced with a battery. Okay, but rest all the things are there. No, the gearbox is not there, then the internal combustion engine is not there, but rest all mechanical elements are there. Body is there, even the crash testing is there, even you have to design from many parameters. It is there. I'm just taking automotive as an example because it is very easy to relate. That's the reason. But otherwise also, huge scope for mechanical engineers, and whether it is AI, ML, or you know mm, the new things are coming into any product, uh, because of the convenience they offer to the customer demands. You want to manage a lot of things. Say now you are getting into an office, and you don't want lights to be on when you come out. It should automatically sense. It is sensor to software. Basically, sensors are there everywhere. They sense whether you are there or no. If you are not there, lights will go automatically. It will save the electricity. See, there is a IoT here. There is a electrical engineering, but there is a mechanical engineering also. Okay, so I don't think mechanical engineers or designers role is over. It is there. It will exist. It will coexist. It will grow, in fact.
No, I'd like to add something here.
Okay.
All the sensors, etc., that are required have also to be manufactured, and
Exactly.
manufacturing the sensors is a mechanical engineer's job. So
No, no,
all the more, all the more.
that's what I'm saying. A lot of
Yeah.
buzzword around many things. It comes periodically, but the core remains the same. If you look, if you take the 35 years, the core remains the same. The new things will come, new ways of doing it might come, but your means you yourself are the best example, Ajit sir, because you remained in design for 46 years. It's a lifetime.
Yes. But I
Yeah.
didn't get a lifetime achievement award. That's something I feel bad about.
Now it is up to Atmaling to
Yes, achievement.
So to conclude this one, only the actuation method is going to get changed due to AI and ML or IoT. It means earlier it was push button, later it comes with remote. Now it sends the person. That is the only change. But the core mechanical, if you consider AC, condenser, evaporator, then paneling, everything will be there. The only sensors and the actuation, it means how to start. That is going to get changed only. Am I true?
see, it is not a
Absolutely.
very simple answer, Atmaling, here. It's a very complex thing. If you see the self-driving car will have its own hundreds, thousands of lines of code to be written. IT engineer is required, but at the same time you need a robust crash testing. A mechanical engineer is also required. At the same time, you need, see, self-driving car, the concept is you can have a meeting for four of us. We can get into a car. It will drive to its next destination from, say, I have started from your you know office in Pune, and I'm going to Mumbai, and then we'll have 3 hours of meeting, and I'm not looking at the road. This is ideal condition to be designed, whether it will come today or no. But then to achieve this, you need lot of sensors. You need a lot of other equipments like radar, lidars, and all that. And also to give the instructions, you need a software. So huge software requirement is also there. A core developers requirement will be huge, right? Like how the core, and but then where you will put all this in a mechanical system. There four wheels are required, the platform is required, the body is required, nice doors are required, nice environment inside is required. So everything has to be designed and manufactured. It cannot, you cannot do away with that, but then it needs a huge IT support. And IT industry will also thrive if you are buying shares of IT industry. Being a mechanical engineer, it's also good, and you can remain in design and then do your job. So I think both will coexist and grow. It cannot be, his role will be over, or no, no.
Okay, I think we'll have a only last question, because there are a lot of list of question. I'm sorry, because of the time limits. Will only last question, sir. We have some discussion. I think Sachin sir also updated, and I want all the guests to be talk about this. Industry 1.0 to Industry 2.0, almost 100 years. 2 to 3, electrical revolution, almost 50 years. Now 4 is there. So change of technology is rapid now. So many students are unemployed because of change of process, change of technology. So what is the future? What next for being a mechanical engineer?
I just want to just highlight one thing, that many students are unemployed because they are not adopted these new trends actually. Means because any industry, even mechanical, IT, electrical, any industry, there are always changes, and now the change speed is tremendous. Means you have to learn many things every year, or maybe within the 2 years, 3 years. So my suggestion, my advice, or not my advice actually, my suggestion I can say for this new student, that you should adapt the technology, because I told also in my speech that you should not think of only the mechanical, as Girish is saying that now that is the collaborative, the mechatronics means with knowledge of the mechanical, you have some added knowledge of the other fields also. So you should get some that awareness, knowledge of that thing, so that you can get into the flow of these new trends. You stuck to the your what are the educations you have done, or what are the methods of educations. We should not speak on that methods, but whatever you learn, you should explore to the relevance to the industrial things actually, and adapt the new things, get the new trends, study on the new trends, get the knowledge. Fortunately, now we can learn many things on the nets and all these things. In our years, that there is no that type of things. We have to struggle to learn new things. So, but now that these students are fortunate for that one. So, my suggestion is that you should adopt this new technology, and then your fear of this unemployment will be removed actually. So, this is my suggestion.
Okay.
No, let me
Any
ask you one clarification on this question, Atmaling. When they say unemployment, does it mean that somebody was employed and he lost his job because of the new technology, or is it that they are not getting jobs?
The first one is correct, because what happened, many nowadays the flow is something like this. Mechanical engineer, he has selected in a campus for IT industry. He has did the testing or some process job for a year or 2 years, and then that process won't get that over or close due to the change of technology. And now the company says that sorry, now there is a change. It is very difficult to adapt for mechanical engineer to switch, and now what to do next. So the change of technology is always we have to keep in mind. So that was the question relates with.
Agreed, but if the example that you have given is true, there is a limit to which a mechanical engineer can adopt himself to a latest technology in IT as much as an IT engineer can adopt. So
Yes,
first
yes.
of all, he has made a mistake in going into the wrong stream. and then expecting to grow there is a wrong thing ना. म्हणजे जसं मगाशी मी सांगितलं, तुम्ही माशाला पोहण्यात मासा एक्सपर्ट आहे आणि ससा पळण्यात एक्सपर्ट आहे, तर दोघांना पाण्यात टाकून उपयोग नाही ना. ते आपल्या आपल्या फील्ड मध्ये एक्सपर्ट आहेत. तर ते होणारच because their changing technology is going to be difficult for the mechanical engineer to adopt himself, because he has not learned much on that. Na? He spent 4 years, 5 years in learning mechanical engineering. Expecting him to adopt to that technology is wrong.
Correct.
But sir, in the IT industry in last 20 years, many mechanical engineers and civil engineers have become shaheed. I would say they have given their own learning and they have adopted and they are learning, they are struggling. As we discussed, mid-career, again, question has come to many. Neither they are here, there. And even in IT, for that matter, if you remain a technical person, technology person, learning never stops. And most of them have to learn. And whether it is a process, whether it is a new tool, whether it is this thing. And again, in any industry for that matter, I was listening to one of the management gurus. He said, learning never stops.
Yeah, in
Whether,
any industry it is true. You have to
but
learn.
only thing is,
Only thing.
you need to keep your focus on for your in a particular domain and your expertise. Then you will flourish, you will grow. Like how you like what you mentioned, we should not, first of all, we have learned something and we are trying just because there is a money. Will you go and do some satta bazaar and all, having learned engineering, and suddenly you don't go after money, at least for the 5 to 6 years after graduation. And while getting into engineering itself, it is not to get. Here comes a very important role of a mentor or a person who gives a career guidance. This is very underrated or not addressed area. There is a career guidance means either family, friends, or some people, or the people who are guiding, they are from particular interest that is guiding the students in a wrong direction. However, like mentorship and giving a proper guidance to the students has become a paramount necessity today. Otherwise, all these problems will keep on happening. If you it's a industry wide problem, sir. It is not a particular thing. But some people, lucky people who are listening to this conversation on Saturday, around 100 or 150 people, likewise many more things have to happen, and churning of minds, and then whatever is the outcome, you should adopt. You should keep your eyes, ears open, and then play to your strength rather than play to what I will get in terms of monetary remuneration in a very short period by easy method. These will not take you to happiness or a long-term career. This will give you, okay, you might buy a car or something like that with that money, or might do something, but then what next? That's where you get stuck.
When you said that somebody said that there's no end to learning, at this age of 71, I go to Atmaling and learn a lot of aspects of the SolidWorks, and I enjoy it.
That's what it is, sir. That has kept you young in your mind, young in your attitude. This attitude also, by looking at you, all the three different streams here present, like students and freshers and experienced people, should learn how to keep the things and how to keep yourself relevant at 71 as a consultant. Many people at 71 are in photos. But you are here and you are live and you are in, guiding the young people. It is an asset, sir, and it
Thank
is
you very much.
also basically keep ourselves, fit to guide. And people are really lucky to have you on the call today.
Thank you very much.
Any conclusion line, Sachin sir, Ajit sir? Because the last slide is, do you know the facts? We had a discussion on the same.
No, that means we have discussed a lot actually. And one thing is that manufacturing sector, there is no any manufacturing sector ला मरण नाही एवढंच conclusion माझ्या दृष्टीने निघू शकतं. तर ते त्याला महत्व, that importance for the manufacturing sector will be remain all the time actually.
Okay, Ajit sir.
मैं 100% अग्री विथ सचिन की घाबरायचं काय कारण नाही. आयटी मध्ये सगळे लोक पळतात म्हणून आपण पळायची आवश्यकता नाहीये. मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर्स हॅव अ लॉंग career and a good career and a rich life, so let them carry on in their own stream.
Yes. Girish sir, last 2 words.
I think keep your passion up, keep yourself motivated, learn and focus. That's it. Possibilities are in every field. You should keep yourself relevant. That's it.
Yes. So thank you. First of all, I would like to thanks Girish sir, Sachin sir, and Ajit sir, and all the students, working professionals, those who are joined the session. Almost 130 plus audience are there. I feel lucky today that I will be in touch and grow with the guidance of all of the 3 guests. And I'm sure that this session will be helpful for many students. There was many questions that, sir, we need a recording of this session. Yes, you will get the recording too for this session, because it's a career guidance session and we want to focus on it. I really thankful for Girish sir, because I know that sir is a sir is in function and still he has spent almost 2 hours for this session and plus time for preparation. I also thankful for Sachin sir. He is always guiding me. Okay, all 3 of us are guiding me from the very initial start of my career, as well as an entrepreneur. I used to take many guidance from the sir. So thank you very much, Sachin sir. And nevertheless, Ajit sir, it's again the core fundamental design is always reflects from your talk, and I'm sure that young engineers, mechanical engineers especially, will get many things from the talk what we have discussed today. So thank you very much. And finally, thanks to all the audience all here. I also appreciate and thanks my team, Rutuja, Rohan, Sushti. They have did the communication with the students and ensure that the audience, it's hardly a one day we got it, and one day almost 250 registration and 150 participation. It's really great things. And I also like to thanks Swati for their involvements and guiding the entire team, so that we'll get the maximum participation for the today's event. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I'm extremely sorry for those questions I have not taken. Almost a list of questions, and I need to take care of the time also. Definitely, I will pass on few relevant questions to the guest, and as per the time, once I receive their answer, definitely I will pass on to you people. So that's it from our side. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you also.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Yeah.